Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Blitz Overtime. Now, if you just missed us on the Friday Night Blitz on THV 11, that's okay, because check out the new digs, everybody. I know you've seen the new set, but I got to tell you, I'm loving this.
It doesn't get much better than this. You can't see it because you can't see behind. It's so big.
Friday Night Bricks is almost what we call the show. But anyway, let's get to the football, shall we? Of course, we had some great ball games tonight. We're going to get to your game in just a second.
We got to start with your game.
Oh, my gosh. Our showcase game of the week. We went into this ball game. It was probably the most hyped up ball game of the evening because we knew exactly what was at stake. 6A West title on the line, at least a share of the title. That's right. So you had Benton on the road tonight, taking on Lake Hamilton. Benton a perfect 5-0 in conference. Lake Hamilton a perfect 5-0 in conference.
Perfect 8-0 overall.
And that's the thing, is I don't think anybody thought Benton would come into this thing undefeated, having to play Greenwood last week.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, when we were running the highlights, I was looking at those because now we have this, the records next to the two teams, and I was looking at that going, it just looks so weird to see Benton at 5-3 and Lake Hamilton at 8-0, knowing how good Benton is, and considering they just came off that win over Greenwood, like their record doesn't seem right.
Well, and Coach Harris talked about it this week too when we got a chance to catch up with him. He said we have got to be able to control our emotions. And I'll say this, Lake Hamilton came out on fire in this ball game. They came out hot, ready to roll. Benton coughed up the ball. Lake Hamilton goes right down the field and score. And honestly, you're thinking to yourself, oh no, Benton so emotional with the win over Greenwood last week, the first time they had ever beaten Greenwood, and Lake Hamilton punched him in the mouth early. Could they respond?
I was going to ask you that because you went down there, and the thing that Coach Harris said is that they want to carry over the momentum, but you got to watch for that lull sometimes. Right. Did you see a lull from Benton at all?
There was definitely a lull in the first quarter. They did not come out on fire. Lake Hamilton got the ball. They actually punted, but then they get that turnover. They look really good, and Lake Hamilton could have started to run away with it, but I love the way that Benton responded. They were punched in the mouth early, and then they come out. Gavin Wells is a freak on offense. He's absolutely ridiculous. He runs right up the gut, starts gashing them, and then throws a touchdown pass to get Benton on the board. Obviously, the offense gets going. Benton's defense is good enough tonight. They slow down the Wolves 31-20. What that means is Benton, with the victory over Greenwood last week and the victory over Lake Hamilton, Benton taking on Sheridan next week, doesn't matter. They're going to be your number one seed virtual, even if they lose next week because of tiebreakers, because they beat Lake Hamilton and Greenwood. So there you go. Number one seed out of the West.
Before we move on, I'm going to ask you to take it a step further. With the way they played against Greenwood, with the way they responded, not getting off to a good start, does Benton look like a team that right now looks like a 6A state champion?
I think you have to say yes. I think they're the number one team. And we talked with Coach Harris when we did Tell the Tape about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Really, really banged up. This team was losing, I think, 8 to 9 really key contributors.
That seems to be a problem for them year in and year out. I mean, it's football. I get it.
It's football, and they're healthy. They're really healthy right now, and they're rolling right now, and they're catching momentum. And with Gavin Wells and that offense and that defense and the running game, especially that they had, because we talked about how much and how this offense was going to respond after that tough loss in the state championship game last year. They're responding phenomenally. So right now, Benton in the driver's seat to not only get back to War Memorial Stadium,
maybe take it all.
Maybe even take the whole thing home. But let's get down to the 5A as well.
That's right.
This was such a big game for conference seating as well. We talked about, and not just, I mean, there's a little family ties in there, so to speak. With we used to see Bobby Boulding and Brad Boulding play in non-conference games between Pine Bluff and North Little Rock. And now every year, baby.
That's right.
Head to head.
I had to laugh because, as we talked about before the show, apparently, according to 101.3, they're not allowed to talk about football anymore at family functions because apparently last time it almost escalated into a fight. That's a mandate from Mrs. Boulding. Mama Lee in the SmackDown. They were behaving. They were talking during pregame. But, Parkview really came out. And you said it before, Whitehall has gotten off to some slow starts this year.
Watson Chapel.
They did again today. The first quarter really did not go very well. Parkview had the majority of the momentum. Landon Rogers was really able to move the ball, and Whitehall really wasn't able to do much until the second quarter. Started to get things going. You saw there a Martinez touchdown pass. The kid I've been the most impressed with over the last 2 weeks, is I saw Whitehall against Christian last week, is Dante Buckner. He can take it out of the tailback position. He can catch passes in the flat. He can take it out of the Wildcat. He can juke you. He can outrun you. He can do a whole lot of things. He is very impressive to me. And the fact that Whitehall, once they got things rolling, last week against Christian, they had 3 fumble recoveries. They can do it on both sides of the ball. They just got to get it going from the beginning. if they're going to have a chance as this postseason, because their losses haven't been by many. 4 of
No,
their
not at all.
losses have come by
Not
a
at all.
touchdown or less. And as a coach, that's got to be incredibly frustrating. But they're a good team once they get it all going.
Well, you kind of wonder, too, how quickly would Bobby Boulding adjust and develop things at Whitehall? So much success down at Pine Bluff, just down the road. But he did, obviously, such a phenomenal job getting key wins. This is going to be a playoff team. He beats his brother.
That's right.
It's a good night at Bobby Boulding's household. We'll say that.
Yeah, and we're talking about playoff seeding. That win puts Whitehall in the 4 seed alone because Watson Chapel
time.
lost to PA, and they were head-to-head going
Big
into
time.
tonight. Yeah, huge win, huge win.
Big time for the Bulldogs. Of course, we moved back to the 7A, the game everybody was talking about because it was the defending state champs playing
That's
host to
right.
North Little Rock. You know, we talked about all the time, too, is Bryant didn't dominate that North Little Rock game of the championship. It was a really tight game. But everybody going in, Bryant, run away. North Little Rock hasn't looked good. They've been injured. They've had suspensions in the past. It's going to be all Bryant.
Doesn't matter.
Was not all Bryant. All right, we're going to show you the highlights courtesy of Mitch Lilly. Then we're going to talk about this ball game.
right.
Check them out.
Bryant coming out fired up. The Hornets looking to remain unbeaten on the season. But it was North Little Rock striking first. Handoff going to the charging Wildcats, Brandon Thomas, and he does the rest. Up the gut and in for the 46-yard score. 7-0 North Little Rock. But back comes Bryant. Hornets going to the air. Austin Ledbetter dumping it off to Hayden Schrader. Schrader showing off the speed. Down the sideline and in for the 66-yard score. Game tied at 7-all. Then, just before the first quarter draws to a close, North Little Rock with the turnover. Bryant with the big interception. Derek Rose with the pick. Game still tied at 7 after 1. Bryant up 21-14 at the half, and Bryant gets the win.
Well, that's second time out of 7 that we beat them, and if anybody wants to see a great high school football game, Bryant North Little Rock tonight didn't disappoint. That's 2 really heavyweight football teams that played extremely hard. The kids left it on the field. I have tremendous amount of respect for their players and their coaches. I think that they competed at a high level, and I'm proud of our guys for finding a way to win it.
Big win for Bryant, obviously. Buck James, they keep on rolling.
That's right.
But, it was weird to kind of, I was like, hang on, third quarter.
21-21, yeah.
The first time that most of their starters had played into the third quarter was a Cabot game last week. They go ahead and blow out Cabot. Tonight, North Little Rock showed up tonight. That game was close late, really, really close late.
It was, so kudos to North Little Rock not having a great season. I know not the season that Coach Mitchell or those guys wanted, especially given their success in recent years. But they showed up on the biggest stage that they've played this year. But Bryant, again, showing why they look like they're going to take this next 7A title. But I will say the last 2 weeks, coming into Cabot and then tonight, we had said, Bryant, no one's going to beat him. No one's going to beat him.
Right.
The last 2 weeks, they have had moments where they've looked beatable.
That's the thing, you always look at it, it's like these Alabama teams that play their starters for a half, it's 50-0, and then they don't see any second half action. What's going to happen when it's actually a tight ball game down the stretch? And I'll say this, Bryant responded tonight.
They did.
Because North Little Rock had a real chance. It was 21-all in the second half. Bryant responded. They win the ball game.
2 touchdowns and a pick.
2 touchdowns and a pick. They take care of business. So 7A Central, real quick, Bryant is going to be your 7A Central champs. They're going to get the 1 seed. Off the top of my memory, haven't had a chance to look at the standings and all the finals. I believe it's Conway right there with 1 loss. I know they lost to North Little Rock.
They did.
Conway plays Bryant next week, I do believe, so that'll probably be another loss. So right now, for that 2 seed, you're looking at North Little Rock, you're looking at Catholic, who lost to Conway tonight, you're looking at Conway. Cabot, I believe, has 2 conference losses, maybe 3. I really need to look at it.
They beat Conway, though, didn't they?
Cabot lost to Conway.
Lost to Conway,
Yeah,
okay.
Cabot lost to Conway. So Cabot, I think, is going to be that 4 seed, maybe that 5 seed down there. So, but in the mix of whoever West team they're going to get, have fun with North Little Rock. Have fun with Conway. Have fun with Catholic. Those 3 teams right there, I would take over probably everybody in the West except for Bentonville or Bentonville
I know we
West.
call the 7-4A the SEC of Arkansas high school football, but come on, man.
I know.
The 7A Central.
It's good.
Looking like a murderer's row this year.
It's really, really good stuff. So it's fun to see this sort of develop and sort of take shape where we're starting to get the playoff seeding a little bit. Next week, obviously, everything's going to be final. But right now, just off the top of my head, Bryant obviously looks like a 7A state champion. I'm sure you would agree.
I would,
Although,
yeah, absolutely.
That was big for North Little Rock. That showed that kind of like on the opposite side of last year, everyone penciled North Little Rock in as the state champ. Bryant went on the road, played really well at North Little Rock.
They did.
And
they blew a big lead. They were up 21-0.
Blew a big lead, ended up losing in the regular season, winning in the state championship game, and it showed everybody Bryant was for real. North Little Rock's for real too. 6A, Benton, Greenwood, Lake Hamilton. Take your pick, and then Searcy too.
Even in the loss, that's really the first time I've gotten a chance to see Lake Hamilton since they played Lakeside, and they look good.
Really good.
I mean, it would not surprise me if we ended up with a Benton Lake Hamilton state final, just based on what I saw. Yeah.
One seed, 2 seed, and then that Greenwood Lake Hamilton game is going to be huge next week. Really, really big because they're going to want to avoid the opposite side of the bracket. So I think we're about to put a bow on it pretty soon. It's been fun. Week 10, regular season finale next week.
One more Blitz.
Thursday, Friday, and then playoffs. We're talking playoffs.
It's
going to be a lot of fun. Of course, Hog Zone Super Saturday going on tomorrow. I'm heading up to Fayetteville in the morning. Going to be a good time. Hopefully the Hogs are going to win. Fingers crossed.
Scarily enough, we're both picking Arkansas.
True. I'm picking them. Why not? Thanks for watching.